if anyone doesn't
sure.
know. You know, me, you, and Sottle were in the hotel room last night. Before bed, before anyone makes those comments, actually just jamming some Hearthstone, just playing some games. And
Well, you
talking
were
about
playing.
decks.
I was just streaming.
Yeah, you were actually just watching us play, which maybe got a little bit weird. But let's not talk about us, and let's talk about these teams. China versus Sweden, Lovely Chook versus Show, Quest Rogue versus Aggro Druid. And, you know, you called it. The Aggro Druid was a really nice pick to beat up this Quest Rogue before it can even get going.
Yeah. The thing is about the Quest Rogue is that the minions that he will play in first turns are really bad.
Yep.
Like 1-1, 1-2. Well, maybe 1-2 with a 1-1 because patches will come out of the deck. But usually, they're not a good match against the minions that Show will play. Enchanted Raven, Ardent Squire. All those minions will just be strictly better than the ones that your opponent is playing. And then you can buff them and smash face.
Exactly. And I imagine we might even see either both, or there we go, or one of the Ravasaur runts thrown away. Because it's not really a card you want to open with because you need 2 minions for the adapt to go off on that guy. So yeah, we did see one get thrown by Show. Show does have Innovate as well. And the coin. He can make some big plays onto the board.
Unfortunately, that Defender of Argus is not really the best.
No. Maybe it's okay if you can Innovate out.
All right.
I mean,
so now this is pretty sick.
Just play
Raven,
minions,
Innovate. Raven, Innovate, Runt.
I know you love me, Lothar, but you don't need to keep repeating my name. Okay.
Oh, Raven. I mean, this is sick.
Yeah, this is actually just the opening I think you want. There is maybe one argument for keeping hold of Innovate to go for Argus. But I think if you can go this hard on the board against Rogue, like Quest Rogue, I think you actually do it.
I think so as well, because you can top deck... you can top the
a lot of your draws are actually just good at this point.
Yeah. And the fact that you are already adapting and run on turn 1 is pretty sick. Lovely Chook is like, oh no. Innervate. Alright. Divine Shield
feels good,
pretty sweet. It doesn't die basically to anything. So it's like...
Minibot.
It's like Minibot, yes, exactly.
Minibot that you have to hit the Divine Shield on.
So you would have played Minibot in this deck if you would have the option, so why not play it? Do it your own.
3 2/2s on turn 1, one of which has Divine Shield, the other 2 are beasts, so can get buffed. Oh, sorry, all 3 are beasts, so they can get buffed by Mark of Yasharaj as well.
And the problem is, you can't really get the deckhand to charge because you don't have mana to get the dagger out and then play the deckhand. So you can deal with only one of those, and then next turn what you have to do is gonna play at least one deckhand, maybe 2. Oh my god. Alright, this is sweet. Which one do you buff though? Because there's merit to buff either of those. If you get a 4/4 with Divine Shield, it's pretty tough to deal with it, right?
I mean, the deck doesn't play Sap, right? So I would buff the Divine Shield, I think.
I think it's actually merit to buff the Enchanted Raven. Because
this though, man.
Well, the Eviscerate is a problem, definitely. But at the same time, it's hard to deal with both minions.
Yeah, you normally want to spread power, right? Like, that's the issue. You don't want to go all in on one. But without Sap, I think you don't have to worry about that as much. So we're going to see Karen's Below actually get dropped down on turn 3.
Something new.
And now some deckhands, yeah, because the only problem with the deckhands is they can't really be used to trade. Because you need to bounce them. You know, like, unless, you know, he wants to go Flame Elementals, but there isn't that many Flame Elementals in the hand.
Well, he has the second deckhand in hand, so it's not that terrible. He can play the deckhand this turn, the second one, attack phase for 2, Shadow Step that. Next turn, he can play actually the deckhand for 0 mana, bounce it back again, and get 3 minions out of 4, right? So I feel like you might want to use that mana wisely. Oh, well, that's awkward. That's 6 mana, and you can have 5.
Yeah, I think you just make a 3/2 here.
Seems good.
You want to build into Argus, and there's still a lot of draws that can help out. This is the only risk of this deck. You know, we were messing with this deck yesterday, and sometimes you do just draw, like, 1 minion, then buff, or something. You're like, oh, well, I have no minions to buff because he killed my first one, and then I'm kind of running dry. Yep. So that's one of the small issues, and the deck doesn't really run that much card draw in general. I don't know Show's list, of course, but the deck only really runs like Mark of Yasharaj is card draw realistically.
And Genzo. We have seen Genzo today.
Yes, definitely not standard. I do love Handsome Guy, but he did lose.
Yeah, he
He's
did
only
lose.
played
Well,
for Korea that lost.
his opponent had a Lava Burst. Who would have thought about that, right? So
the reads.
I think it was a really good decision to play that Genzo and buff it, because the only card that was actually dealing with it was either Hex or Lava Burst. And you saw a Lightning Bolt back then, so yeah, definitely a tricky decision to make.
Yep. He's not gonna change it, trade with the minion, sorry, because just not really too fearful with the deckhands already on the prowl, so to speak. Not going to be too forced. Swashbuckler is going to be nice to try and draw something for the Team China here. Be able to deal with this board. As you know, if this board is not dealt with quickly, then the Argus comes down maybe with a minion with the Innovate next turn, and then suddenly this is almost impossible.
Might be. Huh. Alright, well, Swashbuckler can give you a swipe. Which is an option. Wouldn't you start with it?
Is he just not going to play it? Yes.
So it's 2 out of 4, right?
Yeah, and that's 3. And he can Shadow Step on 4, that's why. Yep. He can actually just pop the quest this turn, so he's not going to bother with Swashbuckler. It's going to be 4, get the quest done. But he cannot play the quest this turn, so now I imagine Show's focus is going to be on actually clearing these minions now.
I was thinking maybe you want to keep the deckhand for next turn and play it as a 5/5 because it's 0 mana. But then you can trade with the 3/2.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
So you can play both. I mean, the entire hand.
I think you just do, right? What draws are you going to get past this that require the Innovate? You don't have enough cards. So I think you just play it, get the value of a 2/2 Divine Shield Taunt, go up to 5/5 for the run, which does trade directly into a buffed questing minion, which is nice.
Well, I guess you need...
Is there a world in which you only buff the Squire? Probably not, right?
Nah.
I was thinking because the one of the minions that survives this turn, the quest will happen next turn, it just trades straight into run.
That's true, but at the same time, you kill one of those.
Yeah, this is right. It's just
5 damage to the face is really a lot. You know that the rogue has actually no way of healing. If he doesn't have a prep, he will lose time next turn to play any minion. So in this case, it's actually important to know that if he has a prep, there's only one chance to draw a minion. So the board will not get that big. So I think it was valid to trade.
But I think there is, the quest happens, so 2/5 attacks actually reduce your board down to just the defender.
Yeah,
Argus.
I mean, it was really clear.
It was good to trade.
Yeah, it
right,
was good to trade.
Yeah. Okay, so, sorry. I'm back with you a little bit. Yeah, I agree. Because otherwise you're down to a defender Argus, and Show needs to really, really get the most out of these minions that he has on board now.
He needs to get Living Mana next turn.
Living Mana would be insane.
Or Savage Roar, because Savage Roar right now, it's 6 damage. That's good.
Yeah.
That's like Fireball draw. That's actually really good.
Living Mana would be absolutely crazy, though.
Yeah. Who would have thought? Living Mana on 10-5. Insane.
Yep.
In an aggro deck, yes, definitely.
It's like just using your mana. Well, I mean, it's literally just turning your mana into minions. But that's like so powerful when you have no cards. Firefly, okay.
Still not bad.
No,
it puts
more dudes.
More dudes for the Savage Roar, more dudes for the Mark of Lotus, more dudes for
Power of the Wild.
Power of the Wild, right? He
More
used
dudes?
one though.
He has used one yet, but still an option. Definitely good to just have multiple dudes on the board, though. All you're trying to do is just chip away this rogue before anything gets too crazy. Not a surprise to see the elemental get dropped as well. Want to go as wide as possible. Start pushing this damage, and this is 5 damage this turn. That is a lot.
Still a long way ahead of the druid to dismantle the rogue, especially since now every single minion is a 5/5. So Stonta's Boar is actually insane. Backstab, not a minion, but still. I feel like you start with Fan of Knives. Then you kill with the backstab the Argent, and you attack into one of those minions so you can kill them. Ooh, that's like the worst draw possible.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. And comes Swashbuckler to save the day, though.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, that is playable next turn. It's a 5/5 taunt.
I think, and at this turn, Lovely Trick is actually just dealing with these minions from Show.
I think it's game. That taunt minion is actually, it's a immovable object.
And before Black Knight.
Or Keeper of the Grove. 1/1. No, wait, it reverts to 6/7 then. 5/7, sorry. Dark Arcor is 5/7, right?
Oh no, you're oh yeah, but it won't have taunt. 6/7.
6/7. Then it reverts after the silence.
No,
It should reverse to
5/7.
6/7. Don't
So
confuse me.
confused.
Anyway,
So confused.
For now,
This
it's a
is
5-5.
Old card. We've been focusing on trying to learn the new cards. It's just going to go and push the damage with Power of the Wild with +1/+1 buffs on these minions, though. Not make a 3-2 and go wider. Just make these a little bit more durable and not going to die to dagger.
Yeah, he's just drawing only spells.
Oh, shoot. Cannot believe it.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? 6 HP. So close, yet so far. Oh.
I mean, Argus Hero Power helps get through this after 2 turns. You have to, right? It has to die.
But yeah, but then how you win? You don't have a single card that deals 6 damage.
Well, it means the Swashbuckler has to trade into the Argus.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not doing damage to you then, right?
That's true.
So obviously we can see that there's backstab hero power to kill the Argus, but you know, from Show's perspective, this actually is just what he does. Oh, he's not going to attack. Okay.
I don't think actually backstab hero power is good for Loveltrick, because what if for some reason Show plays a swipe?
Yeah, just out of nowhere, swipe face game.
Second Fan of Knives deals with the Argus. A prep is not really helpful right now. The most expensive spell was already played, the quest. He still has Mimic Pod in his deck, 2 of those, but at this time, it feels like he already has control of the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind the Swashbuckler trading in here.
Yeah.
Just keep the taunt full health, right?
Mm-hmm. I like that as well. I like that as well.
I mean, it does, with the daggers, it does speed up your clock by a turn, right? If you traded the Yarakoa, you hit for an extra 5 the turn after.
Yeah, but at the same time,
I don't think it matters enough.
It doesn't really matter that much if you're like sure that the opponent is not playing direct damage.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way you can go through that.
Like a Crawler's not going to be enough.
Not really. That's about it. Is there any card that can help him now? You will get 10 damage this turn. 1 damage from the dagger. He is dead next turn. No, wait. 1 damage from... 1 armor will be created by the hero power. And that will keep him alive for additional 1 turn. So if he gets living mana next turn... And Loveltrick whiffs. And he actually whiffed!
Prep into prep concede.
He actually whiffed.
He'd probably really like to kill this Igneous off. If he could.
Yeah. Alright, well, this gives an out to Show. He needs to draw living mana right now.
Pantry Spite!
Man, this meta game just brings so much, so many cards that never have seen play before. I mean, okay, this was played in Evolve Shaman, but
yeah, actually Pantry Spider.
Oh, and a ball, and that is one off.
But pretty much lethal.
Yeah. Now, I don't think there's any out for.
No 1 card, right?
Show.
Oh, would Mark of Yashraj into Savage Roar.
That's actually lethal.
So that'd be 5.
Yeah. That's actually lethal.
Oh, is it? Would have been 1, 2, 3, 5 trades. Yeah. Yeah, of course it is. So he's going to kill off 1 to stop that happening, which is reasonable again. He can't get lethal this turn. He pretty much sets up guaranteed next turn. It looks like the APAC regions, China, and China just dominating so far in this tournament. Mark of the Lotus, know what Show needs.
Yeah.
And it looks like China is going to go 1-0 up versus Sweden. Show falls. Very big surprise. I thought that opening was just going to be too much for the Rogue.
Yeah, the opening was not aggro Rogue, right? I mean, sorry, against Quest Rogue.
Leroy!
It might be an aggro Hunter, although the question is, how does it pair against Zoo? You should have 2 Unleash the Hounds.
Yes.
Which is great against Zoo in general. But the beefy minions from Zoo nowadays are really hard to remove. Crackling Reservoir might be the MVP here.
Crackling Reservoir is always the MVP in any Hunter game, whether it's played or not. There's a freezing trap in Jason Show's hand, though. So he's mulliganed into it. That's going to be interesting. Zoo doesn't flood the board as much as it used to, actually.
But it's still... I feel like
I'm not saying it's good, but...
when I was analyzing the traps for Hunter, it seems like Freezing Trap is not really doing any job nowadays. Druid plays just small minions that don't really you know, care about being bounced. Even when they have a buff, it's not really that bad. Hunters have Unleash the Hounds always in every single deck. Zoo still has a lot of small minions, and Egg Napper, an example, which just creates 2 1/1s, right? You have Adapt, who creates 1/1s as well. So, interesting.
So Powder not having a 1-drop is not what he wants to see with his Zoo
I mean,
list.
the Warlock.
But Jason Zhao could be, and the China team could be thinking, oh, you know, like Handlock.
Yeah,
Or
might be.
Control Lock, maybe. And then they'll see the 2-drop happen and think otherwise. Unless Powder decides to life tap.
I think I actually like the light up here. Because of the fact that turn 3 is the egg.
Yeah, but that's so slow.
It is slow.
That is so slow.
But it's the dream. It's the egg into the Pterodax. And that can actually give you taunt minion with 7 HP.
True. That's true. Could be.
That's like the ideal
could be
scenario.
Powder going for the long term. Powder also doesn't know that it's aggro or as aggressive or even secrets at this point. We can see Cat Trick, Freezing Trap, so there's no doubt going to be the 3-drop as well. So there's the Unleash, as you mentioned.
Bo will keep the imp away, and it's a target that has to be removed as soon as possible because of its ability to just cycle through the discard, which is super powerful. Because cards like Darkshire Librarian suddenly from a honest card becomes super dishonest. Like for 2 mana, 3/2, withdraw a card is nuts.
Really strong, and now Powder has the option between Egg and the Librarian, but as you said, the Egg sets up perfectly for the Pterodax.
An important aspect of the egg is the fact that it has 3 HP. It doesn't die to Explosive Trap anymore.
Yeah. Which sometimes is a bad thing for the the Warlock, because say you Argus it and then it's got 4 and it's like, oh God, like please, just die Egg, I want the 5/5.
The Freezing Trap, although I had a rant about it like a few minutes ago, might be impactful in this situation. Because your opponent will actually get a 5/5 and a double Adapt Beast. And the Freezing Trap will actually say, well, I don't really care.
Yep. So who goes on Hyena? It's just going to come down now. This is really nice, because if any minion is played and the Hyena isn't killed, that's 2 buffs to the Hyena already. And
that creates a 6/4 Hyena.
And there's not a lot Powder can do about it.
That's what will happen. I mean, the Pterodax has to be played, right? Unless you go for the Defender of Argus, but then the Hyenas are even better for that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hyena is a bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go for it and just rely on killing the Hyena next turn.
All right. Death Rattle is not bad to get back on the board after it gets killed, so you can maybe go for the Taunt as the second pick, if you get it, of course.
Yeah.
Stealth doesn't really do much, apart from the fact that it can be played around Kill Command. I mean, it can be used to play around Kill Command.
Yep.
And Divine Shield, well, if you don't get a Taunt, Divine Shield is worse than Death Rattle, in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, Death Rattle's nice, I think. Living Spore seems reasonable to me.
And there's Taunt. And second Death Rattle.
Death Rattle again! Playing to Unleash.
Seems like Taunt has to be picked, right? Because you have a 5/5, so your opponent has to... Well, he sacrifices the 2 cats, goes in with the weapon, 6 damage to the face. Alright, he's going for the double Death Rattle. But now... Uh-oh. 2 kill commands.
Small
I think this changes a lot. The Unleash the Hounds now will be just...
This is crazy.
Quick death. Quick death
Does the
for
Hyena
Powder.
just win?
I think that's the case. That is 5 Hounds. That is 10 damage if he trades everything. Just from the Hounds. With the Cat, that's actually plus 12. The bad thing is that he cannot play Freezing Trap, but the Hyena itself will be much bigger than the attack from the dinosaur on its own. This is crazy. 12 damage on turn 4.
Look at Jason Zhao's just like, yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it? Good old Hyena.
Man, do you need...
And there's just 2 kill commands. There's just like almost guaranteed lethal over 2 turns here.
If only he had 6 mana.
Yeah.
It's just like,
GG.
You're dead.
But yeah, these 2 kill commands almost offer no way out for Powder. There's 6 damage, so you can just, even with no beasts, there's 5 damage next to him with kill command hero power, which puts him to 7. Another 5 damage the turn after, so at minimum 3-turn clock.
Jesus. He has to use the Doom Guard to double trade.
And the 5/5.
4 for 1.
I'll take it.
Well, almost like a 4 for 1. Not exactly.
Now
but
kill command. It's just setting the lethal next turn, guaranteed. Because
Oh,
the
look at
dog, because the dog and the cat, best buddies for life, live.
My God.
Woo! Go, Hunter. Go.
Well, thank you, China, for trying to bring us up to the schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, if they take the third game in a convincing fashion like that,
Omega Zero versus Orange, Shaman versus Hunter, and I could probably guess most of this list from Orange.
Nesting Rocks. Look at that. Omega Zero is actually playing a face Shaman, I would say.
It's
Two
very
lightning
similar to Subo's, right?
I think so. Yeah, it might be very similar. For Orange, though, Nesting Rocks, a double Legion of Hounds, Animal Companion. It's a mid-range version.
It is mid-range.
You can say that.
Orange isn't doesn't really. He has played Face Hunter, of course, because when Face Hunter's strong, you play it. But in general, it much prefers mid-range lists. This, I'm not going to talk about what cards may be in this list because one, I actually don't know and I don't want to presume. But I hope this is a certain list that I think it might be because there's some cool cards in here. But we'll see. Omega Zero not got the one drop, but it's definitely got a lot of beef available in terms of just dropping that crawler on two because you're not going to need it against Hunter.
That is true. Most hunters are not playing pirates.
Both of them may as well have played Quest.
Oh my God, Unbound Elemental.
Yep. This is, again, a list that LVG actually posted that he was playing in the China Championships with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and these guys respect him quite a lot, I would say. LVG is a very impressive player, and he was taking this list with the Unbound Elementals into the China Invitationals, so it's looking good. It's I think it's their effective playoffs. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. The bow coming down on the crawler, pretty straightforward there for Orange. And now the Infested Wolf into Nesting Rock combo actually goes off more times than you'd imagine.
He's still kind of low on curve because next thing he has to play a 2-drop, and oh, that clears the Unbound Elemental.
I mean, you might actually do it, right?
I think it's okay because you will know that if someone plays Unbound Elemental, that means he has a lot of overload in his deck.
And also, Unbound Elemental gains health as well as attack,
Yes.
and health can be a problem to actually kill as it goes out of range. So.
It's actually a better Trog,
Yep.
but it's for 3 mana. So when you think about it, it's only +1/+1 than the Trog, but each overload gives him the buff to the health, so that's pretty important. And I feel like Orange should make the commitment and respect the Unbound Elemental, because if that gets out of hand, he will have to sacrifice Kill Command for it. And this might dismantle his just mana curve in the future.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for the kill command, and also having double Razormaw is going to be potentially really powerful because you can double adapt on the same minion and get like plus attack on Wind Fury going forward, so that could be kind of crazy. Orange has put himself in a position though that sets him up for the Infested Wolf into Rock curve, or Infested Wolf into the Razormaw curve, of course, if he really wants to. Did hold on to the Unleash, so when the board goes a bit wider, he can answer it pretty well.
That is true. Seems like a good play for Infested Wolf. We talked about Infested Wolf a lot in the previous metagame. It was perceived as just too slow. Too slow to fit in a deck. It just didn't do much. Any other photo was actually better than Infested Wolf.
I mean,
but
Hunter was just too slow in the previous metagame, to be fair, but...
That's also true, but now with the interaction between the amount of minions you have on board, with Nesting Rock, the fact that all those beasts have now synergy with the Crackling Razormaw,
yeah.
it's different. It's way different.
Okay, so now we might unleash Razormaw Poisonous to kill the 7/7. Razormaw's awesome.
So at any point you can just adapt the Infested Wolf. No, it makes no sense.
Well, if you adapt a dog, it means +1 actually kills it off if you trade everything in. Poisonous insta kills it, which is sick. Plus attack kills it. There's plus attack. Okay, well, plus attack helps.
It's plus attack, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, the power of Razormaw. And now he can clear the board as well.
Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Yep. So that shows the power of Razormaw and why we keep talking about how it's probably one of the best cards in the set. Just out of nowhere, you just clear a board, and now Omega Zero is overloaded quite significantly, and Lightning Storm's just going to overload him even more. more.
I don't think you go for the Lightning Storm. Milestone Portal is just enough. And you build the board as well at the same time, so it's way better.
And open up the Hammer of Twilight next turn, which is very important.
Oh, Shield Bearer.
You shall not pass.
Well, if you get a Flame Totem next turn, that's actually pretty sick, because you can follow it up with Hammer of Twilight and that.
The old Alley Cat Rock combo.
Oh, the old one. Yeah, well, I have seen it so many times, man.
Hey, I've been playing LoL, I know, okay? I have seen it all the time. Yeah, this is so nice. I'd be surprised if there's any other route round this play, because you could invest with Wolf and Crackling Razormaw, but Razormaw's way more powerful when you play it on a minion that can actually attack that turn. So the adapt is just not normally good enough. This 4/7 with Taunt, and
it's a big minion. Does it have 2 heads, or is it just two of those? All right. Weird.
It is weird, as most things are in Hearthstone.
So how do you deal with that? You can go Lava Burst, Lightning Storm, Firefly. It's kind of sad though. No spell damage.
I think he has to.
Everywhere.
Lava Burst's going to get used up to kill the rock, and you know, it's quite the investment, but also the rock was just quite a big dude to deal with. There ain't many of them in the deck. But we can see that Houndmaster is available as well, and Razormaw, so you could do that on the same minion to create quite a beefy taunt guy.
And they kill the Grandmother. It's actually a good target for the Houndmaster as well.
Yep. A 3/3 that dies into a 3/2. Take it.
So let's. Well, this is kind of hard to predict. What can you get? What is the outcome that you will get the most out of the adapts, right? And is it beneficial to just adapt maybe first, see what you get, and then think about Houndmaster? Because if you get Poison as an example, you Houndmaster the other one.
Yeah, because the attack doesn't make a difference.
Yeah,
I do like adapt first. Also, you know, you can work on things where +1/+1 means that the Houndmaster minion just trades straight into the Shield Bearer.
Yeah.
But then again, that doesn't change much for the Taunt Totem either, so we'll see.
You might just not even play the Crackling Razormaw and just go for the Grandmother and Infested Wolf, kill the Taunt Totem, go a little bit slower, because you know that you're at 24 HP, so it doesn't really, you know, bug you that much.
Just gonna taunt up the wolf, yeah.
Alright, so the initial play I had in mind was picked, but I feel like it might not be the best one. Because Infested Wolf is really slow. Still, like, you're kind of behind with this.
My worry is if this board gets cleared up, this Razormaw just never gets value. Whereas you could have got Razormaw onto the the 1/1s, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, although, to be fair, your opponent used already 2 Milestone Portals, right?
For sure.
Wait, 2 or 1?
Oh no, 1 Maelstrom, right? 1 Maelstrom, no Lightning Storm.
And what are the odds of this deck playing to play Lightning Storm? I wouldn't assume that they have Lightning Storm.
Depends if they've looked at the lists that have been posted.
Let's see. Lightning Storm roll high actually gives additional damage to the face. And it's low.
I guess I'll just tank it.
Still not terrible.
Oh, I'd tank it.
Yeah, I would tank it as well.
Okay, so doesn't want to take the 4 damage just in case. Frontier Power, of course, doing 2 every single time.
Maybe
use it. So
maybe he has in mind the fact that Twilight Hammer might be used for trading with minions instead, so you don't want to do it too often.
Sure.
Well, now the second Houndmaster actually is very impactful. Made the play way better for the previous turn. Patch is drawn. Whoops. Not really what we wanted to see at this point.
Yeah, we might see a Twilight Hammer overwrite here.
Yep.
This is tough. Because Omega Zero now using some AoE means that you can't really deal with a board again. You know, Hunter's not supposed to keep rebuilding the board. It's not how it should work. And normally they get the board cleared once and then they're in trouble.
And an Animal Companion with a Kraken Razormaw.
Hoffer, Wind Fury. Oh, there's one!
My God. So
Orange, if you do not Razormaw the Hoffer, we're not friends anymore. Basically.
Well, there's merit to actually adapt the 1/1. Plus 3 attack is good. Poisonous is good. Plus 3 HP is bad.
Wind Fury Huffer, Lothar.
Wind Fury Huffer is better, that is true.
It's just funny.
can also just build a charging Yeti on your own, right? So
That's true.
shouldn't Yeti be a beast?
No, I think Yeti's actually kind of like humanoid.
Ah,
Believe it or not.
makes sense. Yeah, well, what
I'm
I'm
gonna go
talking
into
about.
the lull with you, Lothar. Oh, he's not doing it. Orange.
No, you can still do it afterwards. Like, it doesn't really change anything.
True. Ah, that's true, actually. Yeah, okay, he's doing it. We are friends. Wind
Yeah, it's the
Fury.
Wind Fury.
Wind
Or the
Fury.
health.
No, Wind Fury Huffer, come on. Okay, at least he tried. 4-5 Huffer. Now the game has been balanced. Seems fantastic.
Volcano top deck.
I doubt he's going to play it.
Oh, wrong order of those cards, man. You can see now the impact of how patches just denies you any value if
Well,
you draw it.
Well, the problem as well is it's not so much that Patches is bad to play as a 1-1 for 1 mana charge, which is not good, but it's the fact that that card should be something else. Should be another card in the deck. Like, what if that card's Lava Burst? You know, it's like you can suddenly start to add up a lot of damage that could be available here. But the Patches is, in fact, just a 1-1. And we're taking up a card slot for Omega Zero here.
Yep. And it might actually mean game. I mean, probably will. But if you would had a different card than that, it's a different story. But I think we'll not see a 3-0 over Sweden this time.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, Aggro Shaman does have a way to do silly amounts of damage.
To be fair, this Hunter seems to be better at dealing damage right now.
That's what happens when you buff Huffer. Becomes a buffer.
Do you want to kill the 1-1?
It just doesn't want to take any potential damage, right? If the 1-1 gets a buff from Leok, then there's 5 damage to face.
Right, that's true.
Hyena, okay.
I'm guessing Omega Zero is not playing any hexes. So
I would imagine so, as in the
yeah, so
aggro
he needs to get a Lava Burst to deal with that Huffer.
Jade Lightning's close, but no cigar unless he can roll the spell damage. Doesn't get it.
Oh, it's still not terrible. You just kill the Hyena and go for damage to the face.
And the 3-3
And
as
you
well.
get a 3-3.
Like I said, you know, the Shaman does have a way to
Damn.
stay in this game, as their spells are normally way more impactful. Like Alley Cat, there you go, terrible 100 draw. This is no, that's what I mean. Like,
you said it with such a certainty, you know. It's like, oh, I knew
No,
this will get drawn.
That's the problem late game for Hunter when they get starved, right? Your draws can potentially be very, very terrible. Look at the difference between Alley Cat and a high main. Like, it's absolutely crazy. And now there's what? 11 damage.
1-1 this turn.
Do you have to go all face here? Or do you kill the 2-1-1s? No, you can't. 4-5-7.
You can kill one with the 3-3.
Yeah, and that's it though. You need to go face with a 4-2 to have a bigger chance at lethal.
9 damage. I mean, sorry, 9 HP. And then next turn you bring it to 5. He played 2 Houndmasters. So unless it's Animal Companion Misha, there's chance to have just lethal with Lava Burst. Lightning Bolt, 1 is left in the deck. Can also roll lethal.
Also as well, if orange trades, then you effectively almost buy a turn. Again, right? So...
Yeah, I like the
this
one.
I think this. If you trade double into the 1-1s, you're not saving that much damage for the payoff, but also you're actually not getting close enough to lethal because now, as you said, Lava Burst is lethal just with the weapon. This is all going to rely on Orange's draw. He needs kill command. Oh, Nesting Rock is going to now change things again because that is a gigantic taunt minion.
Well, we didn't talk about that.
Cat.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, and that might be game.
Yeah, that might have sealed it now. Wow. So far, 7. Oh no, Lava Burst can still do it if he doesn't trade.
But does he? Well,
he can trade the 1-1 in because the 1-1 I don't think changes the maths at all.
No, it doesn't.
So he can trade the 1-1 in case of Flame Tongue value. But I think he has to go face with Huffer because it's the same issue. If you don't go face, then you turn away again and turn away again because you know the rock dies if you don't trade. The rock dies to the 2 minions on board. And then Lava Burst is an opening, right?
That is true.
But if you trade, then you also still need like a kill command when one's already been used.
Man, this is
So
rough.
it's very, very difficult.
He trades with the free.
I suppose this also means that... Oh, no, take it all back. This trade's fine because if the weapon trade happens, then that's 4 damage to face. So then Huff is lethal.
Flame Tongue. Well, that keeps him alive.
Yeah, he can trade the healing totem into Huffer, clear the board, and then he's only on 4 health, but not a lot of stuff does 4 damage from the Hunter. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he gains the 4/2 elemental back again.
Yeah, and he just set up lethal for next turn. Huh. Well, this is definitely a good draw.
Yeah,
And it still was a very good call from Orange to trade.
Yep. Yeah, this is very, very, very close. Both players just playing off the top of the deck and trying to edge out any advantage they can gain here. He has to trade fully because kill command.
Yes.
Otherwise, he's just dead.
Yeah. He needs to trade.
Because this removes, I think, all draw outs.
And
4 damage. Oh no, Huffer again from Animal Con. That's it, right?
Yeah. But I feel it's needed.
Oh yeah, you do trade. Yeah, you trade. 'Cause it removes everything but Huffer as a lethal out for Orange, whereas Omega Zero is looking pretty reasonable with 6 damage now available.
So, unfortunately for Omega Zero, there was no way of setting up the placement in a good way to have guaranteed lethal next turn.
Rat Pack's still actually sick. So, Omega Zero needs to end the game, and what's very important is that totem is spell damage. Lightning Bolt wins the game.
Well, it would have, like...
Oh, sorry, Lightning Bolt wins the game anyway, I'm not talking about. Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
Oh, Animal Elemental is not enough, and that's game. So close to actually sweep. Whew. Sweden.
That got tense.
Look at that. He even rolled the Taunt Totem.
You wouldn't want to do it to yourself, would you? I would have just conceded. I don't even want to see the totem.
Man, that was so close.
Orange must be pretty sure he's won. The Chinese players are very respectful. They would not sit and try and like BM, you know, like, oh, Lightning Bolt, lol, at the end. So Orange is probably feeling pretty confident. You can see in his face just kind of, surely not. There we go, Orange. Orange just hit the win for Sweden there and keeps them in the game. Very similar story to Waygate for the Mage and for Nightwalk and Team China, whereas Ostkaka is rocking the Caverns below. Double quest decks coming out from these guys. And yeah, we kind of saw roughly how this matchup plays out in general, but we can see it again, and you know, piloted by some very, very exceptional players. See how this one turns out. Very difficult one to call. Is Doomsayer on 2 even worth it?
No, I think you just mulligan away.
Yeah, I think you have to wait for like Frostnova Doomsayer, right?
Yeah.
Or you know, some kind of freeze Doomsayer.
After the Rogue pops up the quest, I think that's the moment when you play Doomsayer with Frostnova. Although there's a huge chance that it will die anyway, because your opponent suddenly has multiple minions with charge that have 5 attack, and the Doomsayer doesn't really look that impressive anymore.
I'm also waiting for Quest Rogue to just start playing Sap, because no one expects it.
Well, they sometimes they have Vanish, right?
Okay, Ostkaka keeping the Shadow Step, and Ostkaka is rocking a Wisp version of this deck. And yeah, that's definitely interesting, just having a 0 mana effect, well, a 0 mana minion to just bounce and proc whenever you want. It means that the Ferryman and the Brewmaster, if they're in the deck, don't really care. The fact it's almost like a Shadow Step, because they're reduced to 0 anyway. So you can just play them whenever you want.
You can also just Wisp, Shadow Step, Wisp, Edwin.
Yeah, that's a good point. It also means that you're not as punished on turn 5 when you play it, because you can just play Wisp Wisp on turn 5 with Caverns below, and actually just get 2 5/5 straight off the bat.
So many options.
Well, what are the options for Skaka here? Just the dagger, right?
Yep. But you know, the reason these like seemingly simple turns appear to take a while is they'll be discussing future turns with the team. They'll be like, okay, so we're going to dagger this turn, then we might go into Backstab Van Cleef the turn after, and then we'll do this, do that, do this, do that. So, you know, you use your time where you've got it on the simple turn to discuss what's potentially more complicated turns in the future.
Oh, interesting, a Volcanic Potion. We don't see that often, a Volcanic Potion in the Quest Mage. Since you already play, like, Blizzard, no Flame Strikes.
Well, they might not. That's the thing, right? You know,
Maybe
they might be
it's a setup
swapping
Blizzard,
one for
yes.
Volcanic. Like, Blizzard stalls, of course, the bigger minions. But if you're expecting more aggressive decks, then Volc Potion might just kill the minions straight up.
Well,
Probably okay with it.
the bad matchup is like Pirate Warrior, right? Pirate Warrior, any aggressive like Face Hunter, an example, might be also problematic. So it might have some merit. You're right.
Let's see how it works out. Currently, both players on 0 though, in terms of how far ahead they are in the quest. Skaka just thinking about what exactly he wants to do. Does have that Shadow Step. I might decide that bouncing a Novice Engineer is worth it more than trying to bounce the Wisps. Because the Novice Engineer draws you cards, so you know it could well be more worthwhile. But see what he goes for here as the rope starts burning. Oh no, he's going for the Van Cleave.
Okay. Look at the faces of the Chinese players.
Brilliant, that's lovely Chuck in the background, like, what?
All right, how do you deal with that? I guess that's one of the options. For 10-5 with the Doomsayer.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's 6 damage to the face this turn at least, because you can play Swashbuckler into patches and 7. Next turn, what will happen for Nightwalk is most likely just Frostbolt on the Edwin to just stop the bleeding, not to get more damaged.
I wonder what the secrets are in this deck as well.
Well, he has Ice Block, and I'm not sure about Ice Barrier. When I think about it, it's like you don't want to ever get Ice Barrier out of Arcanologist. It's just feels bad.
Yeah.
Especially when you play a version with the Medivh's Valet.
Yeah. Whereas, speaking of which, whereas Mana Bind actually gets you a spell towards your quest as well, so that can help out.
And usually the spells that your opponent is playing are great against his own deck.
Yeah, and they're 0 mana, so they're just good in general. So we're going to see the Van Cleef has obviously just punched to face, and Medivh's Valet is just going to get dropped down as a 2/3 dude, and the monkey in the background. It's pretty funny.
There's the Frostbolt and the Doomsayer. 4 damage on board, so a simple backstab just deals with it.
Yeah. Or Vanish.
Ooh.
One turn away, of course. Vanish could be pretty great, actually. Just heal up the Van Cleef, effectively.
Well, you can also just bounce back the Wisp.
Yeah, that's true. Mimic Pod as well. Mimic Pod into Wisps, let's go.
There's the backstab, easily dealt with.
Oh, it needs a dagger, right?
Yeah, but it's easily dealt with the Doomsayer. So now the Van Cleef is still a problem.
Is it deck? Volk Potion, ping, get him.
But Medivh's Valet is alive.
Yeah, I'll reduce, what, 9 damage for leaving 2 on the board. I'm okay with that.
That's true.
Yeah, Arcane Giants as well, knocking around for Nightwalk, so you can see it's more than likely not the Exodia version with the unlimited fireballs. It's in fact the Arcane Giant version. Southsea Deckhand getting Mimic Pod. That is just 3 Deckhands. You can play 2 this turn. Can't bounce them, of course, but you could play 2.
Deal some pressure. And
yeah, attack,
that's about it,
and
right?
then play Deckhand Vanish next turn, and then go again.
Yeah, that sounds good. Although I'm pretty surprised that the quest is still not popped. It's turn 6. Usually when I see on ladders...
Some rare moments, Lothar, it doesn't get procced on 4.
or 3, even. That's my experience, at least, when I play against this deck.
You also draw patches a lot, so you can't use your experience as gospel.
All right. That means Nightwalk knows what was the outcome out of the Mimic Pod.
And the thing here is if Nightwalk spends 2 mana pinging, then that's 2 mana. He's not really doing anything else onto the board. That is an ice block, so he has got it available. Still a few turns away, but 2 ice blocks might be enough to buy the time here.
He's 1 out of 6 in the quest so far.
Hit Vanish? Oh, hit Deckhand Vanish, right?
Yeah. You don't want to trade with those minions.
No, if you vanish
well, maybe with the Valet. With the Arcanologist. Because you don't want to give your opponent an option to get that second ice block. Like, he doesn't know. They're already both on the hand.
True.
So I think there's some merit to just killing the Arcanologist. Interesting. Well, he for sure attacks with 1, right?
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, it's whether he wants to kill the archaeologist there. Won't be too bad, only takes 2 damage with the dagger trade, of course. Oh, just gonna go face. Just may as well play the Wisp. 0 mana Wisp, Vanish, get him.
All right.
This is a problem, I believe, for Nightwalk here.
Well, he needs to play Ice Block this turn, 100%. And he's still super far away from the quest. 1 out of 6.
But there's a chance if he casts enough, even just a couple more spells, he could maybe get an Arcane Giant out and then Alexstrasza him. And then just get aggressive, you know, not do the Time Warp, but just actually kill him because he has Arcane Giants on the board. It's something to consider at least.
That's possible.
Ostkaka doesn't have a prep either, so he only has 3 mana spare, which he can create 3 5/5s, of course, 2 of them charge. But that will put the block as well. Oh, there's another Vanish.
2 vanishes in the deck. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, not super common.
Now the quest is being drawn.
Cool.
Still no prep, so it has to be played for 5 mana. Well, that allows you to pop the block, but you can wait. You can actually pop it at 1, right? Because you can use the Eviscerate this turn.
Unless he wants to go for this though, he wants to get the minions on the board, I guess.
Yeah.
Just remind you as well that although the cameras show 3 players for China and 1 for Sweden, Ostkaka is on comms with the rest of his team, Powder, Show, and Orange, of course. So that's why you see Ostkaka randomly talking. There is a team effort. It's just they too far apart to join up in person, but will join up in voice comm, so it is okay. Whereas China, those guys pretty much play close together most weeks, actually. So I think they live pretty close. You see the Frost Nova come down now and reduce the chance of these attacks going in, but there is an Eviscerate. This is tight.
Well, there's also Vanish. You just vanish and you have
Oh yeah, you just vanish.
charge minions.
Yeah. Ugh. So filthy.
Vanish seems good against freeze mages.
Yes, I would agree.
And that wasn't never the case.
Vanish seeming good, I don't think was ever the case.
Wait, not well in Milrow.
Don't talk to me about Milrow.
Will.
That wasn't a deck.
That was my favorite archetype. I'm so sad.
Work out what kind of person Lothar is when you hear him talk about Milrogue.
I loved this deck, man. I'm super sad there's no Milrogue or any Mill deck in the standard.
So many options.
All right, so I think it's viable to do either of both. I mean, Vanish, charge, or just Eviscerate face this.
Choose soon.
That's definitely an option. You want the free cards, right? Even if you Evis, you can still play the Glacial Shard and the Wisp. And then have the charges for next turn, which is 10, which actually beats Ice Barrier as well.
So it seems like Ostkaka is taking it by the horns and is ahead in this situation. Already 2 ice blocks popped, and this is not the game where we will see like 4.
Simply not, no. This is a real problem though, because Nightwalk will know that there's 2 deckhands available in hand, so that's 10 damage just straight away. And there's no real way to stop that happening. Ice Barrier isn't available. I think this might have to just be like a godlike babbling book of some kind.
What is godlike in this scenario? Another ice block?
Ice block? Yeah, just chain ice blocks.
Well, it's a vaporize. So as close as it gets, it's a secret.
Yep.
But it's not the secret he really wanted. A glyph was necessary, basically. Out of this babbling book.
Yeah.
To also count towards the quest, get additional 2 spells. That's like not doable, I think.
Yeah, we can see, you know, so many cards like the Loot Hoarders. And the Shimmerins as well that actually would have helped towards the quest, but never got to even die or attack on the board. So proving a huge problem. The Vaporize does is on there. Now Skaka, with knowing he has plenty of damage, is going to check. And the Wisp.
No! The tragedy. Yeah, but they killed the Wisp.
That was a cool Wisp.
It's
Went
done.
away there. Yeah.
2-2. Sweden
Yes!
is bringing it back.
Yeah, it's now going to be 2-2. Osaka does even it up. Mind its elemental, we can see an Omega Zero.
With the Pirate Warrior.
Okay, well, one way or the other, this one's going to be over pretty quick.
Yeah. It's either the Elemental Shaman will just tone up and stop the bleeding really fast, or the Omega Zero Pirates Warrior will just stomp the Shaman instantly.
Skakago got a pretty okay start. Firefly Glacial Shard is a very good card versus Pirate Warrior. Can either lock out a weapon swing or lock out just a minion attack as well.
Definitely correct. It seems like actually an awesome draw. Oh my
Patches!
god. Patches again. Incredible.
Yeah, it curves out next turn quite easily with the Firefly into the Flame Elemental and Glacial Shard next turn. And the Zoth's first mate. Not too great versus a 1-2 when there's no patches.
This is pretty horrible, to be honest.
Is it just coin patch?
No, you can't coin it out. If for some reason the pirate lives for the next turn, you can have value out of cultist.
Ooh.
But we all know it's not gonna happen. So it's kind of sad. Warrior distance, Jade Claw's distance, you don't have Overload for 10-4, so you can just play Fire Plume into 7th Cunning Most, so it seems to be very strong.
Also as well, what are you trying to Glacial Shard this turn? It doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to waste the time otherwise. So I really like going into the 1-drops next turn if needed. And then, as you said, go into 4, into 5. And try and snowball from there, because Omega Zero really has not got off to a even remotely fast start here.
The thing is, like, in this scenario, the Glacial Shard cannot even be played next turn, just to keep it for like the final swings of the weapon.
That's true, yeah.
You can just
hero power pass.
I mean, attack for 1, but you can just hero power, and it's fine. Next turn, you go Fire Plume, probably trade with the weapon, with something that had more than 2 HP.
Also as well, now the option that the Hot Spring can be played instead of the Phoenix, because, you know, it's going to float 1 mana to a certain extent, but, like, it's just a good taunt, and if you take any damage, it's kind of insane.
Yeah, but you want to also get value from the heal, right? In this case, it will just heal
True.
for 1.
Well, if you get attack next turn, right? If there's like Cock Run. Not Cock Run. Like a weapon buff attack or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, he's going to go Glacial Shard? Maybe.
Well, when you think about it, it still stops 1 damage or a trade with your minion, while you put out a minion that can trade with any of the pirates that will be played.
Yeah.
But he knows there's a patch, so
He's in
Tricky.
charge now. You're able to combo it with the Cultist alongside the coin to make this hook slightly less rusty at a 2-2 weapon now.
the polished.
Look at this. Oh, and there's a Volcano as well.
Interesting.
This Phoenix skills. And the Elemental Train begins.
Well, it doesn't really look great for Omega. Still, like,
Just about making it work. This Naga Corsair is still going to require an answer. I do believe that it is just going to be Servant of Kalamos, though.
yeah.
They don't get enough value from Volcano with only the 1 minion.
You want to get Stone Sentinel or Elf Elemental
Oh.
or Hot Spring Guardian. Those are actually, both are actually amazing. The problem with Elf Elemental is that you overload for free. Hot Spring Guardian can be played like a double on turn 6 as well. And it gives you very similar values when it comes to the health that you just soak or heal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Elf Elemental just trades with every
It kills
single
everything, right?
minion.
Whereas 2 attack
Right.
can leave pirates alive, leave Frothing Berserkers alive, which is a huge
Corcoran
problem,
Elite is a
actually.
problem as well because it just kills the Hot Spring
Trades it
Guardian
up, yeah.
and it stays on the board, so it requires another source of damage.
I'm just okay with Earth Elemental here if I'm Oskaka and Team Sweden. Mainly because you have Volcano as like a backup in 2 turns time. And you can still, if you Earth Elemental next turn, you overload it for 3, which means that you've still got plenty of mana to play Hot Spring Guardian the turn after. And then go Volcano if you need to, but to be honest, Earth Elemental into Hot Spring Guardian, maybe even healing the Elemental, could actually just end out the game.
That's true. You can just heal up, get that dude on his feet, although he doesn't have any feet.
So,
Is
I
anything
actually...
wha- Sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think a Corsair into Cultist is going to be the best thing here. You get a 4-attack weapon with a second charge, more importantly, and then have to probably just trade the Corsair into the Servant.
You mean Cultist into Corsair, then Towned Up? I mean, Armor Up.
Oh, sorry, Cultist into Corsair. Yeah, sorry. The Naga is a pirate. What am I talking about?
It's still not a lot of damage. You push for 9, your opponent is at 17. Still far away from killing your opponent.
Oh, definitely not a good position to be in. Maul Strike might help out with any minions that come down soon as well.
But there has to be. Like, I can't imagine any other play. Like, the
Corcroft
Cultist,
base. Get him.
the Cultist needs to have some value ASAP. Wait, what? Alright. That is very
Flame
weird.
Tongue. Okay, so
Well, the thing
La
is,
Blaze Caller.
how do you plan to win against an Elemental Shaman when you start to trade?
Yeah, this is insane. With Blaze Caller coming up for Ostkaka next turn to remove any minion that's going to be played here. Or, depending on how wide the board is, Earth Elemental could just be the way to go. Double,
I didn't really understand the trade last turn. It's just damage lost.
double
to be
trade in.
honest. Yeah, look at that. That simple Fire Elemental soaked 7 damage.
See Volcano hero power this turn. I mean, it just clears, right? You only overload for 2, which means you can Earth Elemental the turn after.
I like it. Definitely like it. Deal 1 damage. Kill the Fronting Berserkers. Like, if you just play Blaze Caller, he still has a 6/4 minion. And you are not threatening lethal anyway.
I wonder.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be Volcano. Look at this sick animation.
What? That's so slow?
It's because it's the Frothing Berserker.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, the Frothing
Come on.
Berserkers are double buffing, remember?
Correct. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Everyone just go and grab a cup of tea while you're ready to finish this animation. I'm joking, of course, we are ready to go already, but we didn't go anywhere. It was only jest. The Earth Elemental coming down next turn is going to be huge, though, and potentially backbreaking from Mega Zero here. And it looks like Sweden might be on the road to doing a reverse kill, the first reverse sweep we've seen for Hearthstone Global
It
Games.
was really close because the game between Orange and Nightwalk? Orange and Nightwalk, right?
No, Skaka played Nightwalk, didn't he?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so that was
Orange
Mega
is-
Zero.
Omega, yeah.
It was really super close. It was on the ropes. Both players were actually like one of lethal for one turn, and a simple draw with damage would actually go with the match either way.
Conveniently 5 mana available, and now Tar Creeper into Hot Spring, into Taunt, and the Pyro Warrior is going to very, very much struggle here for Team China to be able to get this win and take a win in this series.
It's impossible to win now. To be honest, like this,
Nothing's impossible, Lothar.
there's no way Omega Zero will win this match. After that, Elf Elemental will get played. Even an Arcana Reaper right now, with the trade, doesn't really do much.
Well, he's got double trade with Corcoran into Maul Strike to push this for 3. I mean, it's as good as it's going to get to a certain extent, right?
But with the Hot Guardian and the Tar Creeper already in hand,
Yep. There you go, double 3 drops. And Stone Sentinel is available for Ostkaka as well. Elementals are being played every single turn. Omega Zero is playing off the top of the deck as Pirate Warrior, and when your opponent's on 18 and you're playing off the top of your deck, definitely not the situation you want to be in. And that looks like it could just be game. The guys are laughing and having a good time, you can see there. And I have no doubt Team Sweden on voice comms with Ostkaka are having a great time too, as they must be feeling very, very confident. Stone Sentinel is open for next turn. That's something I used to say quite
Like
often is if your opponent plays Feral Spirit and you're the Pirate Warrior, you probably lose. Right? If your opponent plays Feral Spirit, at this point, plus a 4/4, you probably lose.
Yeah. You're running out of health at that point.
Yep.
Because it's pretty late in the game. And if you didn't kill anyone,
yeah, you
they mostly will kill you.
Yeah, feels good. Okay, so it's going to be armor up, and Deckhand can't even charge this turn. So it's definitely a huge problem here. No weapon available for Omega Zero. I feel like that's what he suffered from quite a lot. He did boost the hook a little bit, but other than that, he's not really done anything in terms of weapons. And Pyroid gets hindered so heavily when you can't actually have the weapon activators live.
Well, to be fair, Omega Zero was trading with almost every single occasion.
Yeah.
So it definitely felt weird.
Pick your poison here, Lothar. Which 7-drop would you like to play this?
I
Which
feel
one will most
Sentinel will just trigger 3-1 concede.
push him out of the game?
I would definitely play that.
Now the one attack for the Tar Creeper not being too bad, doing the 1 damage needed to clear off the Captain. Heroic Strike, probably not going to be enough to finish this game from 18 health for Oskaka and his Elemental Shaman and the Great Wall of Taunts going on. They have stolen the wall from China, and now Oskaka has it in Sweden.
I would say that Omega Zero needs to suddenly get his brawl out of somewhere to even stand a little chance. But no, it's not enough, and surprisingly,